friends were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Central Valley Talk. My name is Ray Johns. I'm your host, and the name of the show is Ray Johns, American Patriot. And I'm back. I'm glad to be back. I won't go into detail other than say that it was a business thing that kept me away. Hopefully, I'm going to be here every single week. I missed you guys. And by the way, thank you for the emails and the texts that we got. I understand we got quite a few here, and I've gotten a few that people were concerned as to whether I was sick. I am not. I'm in the gym every single day, 5 days a week, so I'm healthy. Everything is right with me. I'm just trying to get my business straightened out. Now, I'd like to do something a little different today. A couple of things. I want to honor more than one American patriot today. My first thoughts are for this wonderful lady that I happen to have known for the last 10 to 12 years, a lady that I have revered, admired, and respected by the name of Sandra Louie, who is just a phenomenal individual. If I stood here and shouted her accolades, I'd be here for an eternity. She has so very, very many of them. But she has a grandson named Augustin, and Augustin, not Augustine, but Augustin. And he is a beautiful child. We're going to pull his picture up as soon as we can so that you can see him. But there are strength in numbers, okay? And this poor young man of approximately 21 months, by the way, was admitted to the hospital yesterday with a form of bronchitis. It's not bronchitis. It's a name like bronchitis. I can't even pronounce it. It's so long. Anyway, he is in the hospital, and I need your help. All you people who called to find out how I was doing and to find out what was going on with the show, and everybody else, I understand our audience has expanded. Please say a prayer for this child or write a prayer down. I like to say, God, please bless and heal Augustin. And there's so much power in writing. If you could write this down tonight, if everybody could just write that down. God, please bless and heal Augustin, because there's power in writing. If you do that, I'm going to do it a bunch of times tonight. And let's heal, with the help of God, of course, in this universe, this child, okay? I want to talk about two people. One, of course, is Sandra. We're very fortunate in our lives to have certain people that they exude acts of kindness, and that's what she does. She's an amazing, amazing woman. I get so hung up in business that at times that I don't do anything except business, and I have blinders on, okay? She's taken me away from that, because every time I get a text from her, I know that at the end of that text it's going to be something good. So it's kind of a selfish thing for me. I can't wait to open up that text because I know she's going to send me something positive. And she does that to everybody. And she's just a woman who goes around and does wonderful things for people. She had a neighbor, elderly lady who used to live in her neighborhood. She did everything. She picked up her garbage cans, brought them out, took them back, checked on her every day, took her food, and she's not the only one. She's got friends that she's always doing. She reminds me so much of my mother, always doing something for someone else, totally selfish. And so this world is so fortunate, Sandra, to have you. We're all so fortunate to have you. God bless you. You are a saint, lady, a saint. Okay, now, my second American patriot. I actually have three. Augustine is my first, Sandra's my second. My third American patriot. Maybe you heard the story of Gregory Townsend. This is a sad story. And I wanted to do something. I didn't know what to do, and I thought, well, let me honor this man. This guy is a colonel in Virginia. And, oh boy, he... 2 or 3 days ago, he was on his way home, and he stopped to help a guy change a tire. And something happened during the middle of him changing this tire, and the car fell on him, and he was subsequently killed. He was rushed to the hospital and died at the hospital. What an outstanding young man this was. He's 46 years old. He's a colonel. He's received 28 medals in the Army in his 23 years in service. 3 bronze medals this man has received, okay? He has done 3 tours, two in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan. And so this station sends out our condolences to his family and to his friends. Gregory Townsend, our American Patriot for this week. And now I'm gonna invite in, here's Gary Miguel back with me again.
How you doing,
And
Ray?
you talk about American Patriot, you can't get a better one than this old boy right here. So how you been, buddy?
Been good.
Well, what are we going to talk about today? Gary always brings great stuff here. I can't. I love it when he's here because every time he's here, I learn something. So teach me something today.
Well,
buddy.
I am. I'm going to teach you something.
Okay, good.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Want to talk about Mueller first, or something else? I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, we'll start with this.
Okay.
Okay. Why is it that Trump wins every single time?
You tell me because I know you know.
Yeah. Okay, now you got to go back. I don't care what the issue is or who it is.
Okay.
Why is it that Trump ends up winning? And after a while, it's a little bit ironic. Oh, not ironic, but it's a little bit, what is this all about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the reason. It's quite simple. Trump understands the American people.
Well, I'll say that's certainly the truth.
Yeah, and I think people are starting to realize that he really understands the American people as a whole, right? Okay. So what he does, he takes on an issue with something, but it's always an issue he knows that 51% of the American people are in favor. So if 51% are always in favor and his opponent, 49% are with his opponent, who's going to win that battle?
He's going to win every time.
100%.
Absolutely. I love that, Gary.
Okay, so let's put it in a practicality. Let's take an example, Kaepernick.
Okay.
Neil.
Oh, the football player?
Yeah, Neil and
Yeah.
And then not
Yeah.
honor the flag or the anthem, right?
Yeah.
That's not the way most Americans feel.
Heck, no, it's not the way most Americans. I would say it's, I'm glad you said that. I bet it's less than 30% feel like that.
It doesn't matter. The point is, there's no way Kaepernick's going to win that one.
Yeah.
Trump wins.
Yeah.
You go right all the way on every issue. You'll notice that Trump takes the border.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how come Trump wins the border issue? It's because more Americans are in favor of a border than who are not.
And it's growing. It's getting more and more.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me at the gym early this morning, they said, people come around, of course, I wear my Trump shirt every day, and they come to date, so I am bombarded with people. Guy comes up to me today and says, is Trump going to win? And I said, are you kidding? It's going to be a landslide. We predicted, Gary predicted, not me, Gary predicted 3 months before Donald Trump won that he was going to win.
Yeah.
And we're saying right now it's going to be a landslide, and it is.
Well, and to come to the right answer for yourself, just ask yourself: have you ever talked to anyone who voted for Trump who said they're not going to vote for him again?
Good point. Because no,
right?
no, absolutely not.
Well, if he won with what it was, and everybody that voted is still going to vote for him, he wins.
Didn't take a mathematical genius to figure that out, does it?
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now then you add to that, how many people now who used to be, who used to be non-Trumpers, who've now become Trumpers?
A lot of them.
Right.
A ton of them.
A ton of them. Look at the walkaways and so forth. Okay, so it's mathematically impossible unless it's rigged.
Yeah.
But it's mathematically impossible for Trump not to win.
Mm-hmm.
And just ask that question. Just say, well, he won. And then say, talk to someone who says they will not vote for him again.
There isn't anybody.
So then you're not going to find anybody. And now you go ask somebody that voted for Clinton and ask if they'd vote for Trump now. Oh, yeah. Hell, I've had people go down and change their registration.
Oh, I know a lot of them have. I know personally people that have done
but
that.
How many have changed it to away from Trump?
You won't find any.
Right.
You won't find it.
Okay, the thing is you have to also look at is over this time period of the last 2 years, actually what has formed is Trump has formed a party of its own. Okay, and how can we come up with the idea that he has his own party, his own political party? How did that happen? He's a Republican, right? Okay, the problem is you got so many Republicans that aren't Republicans.
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
You know, the rhinos, which is Republican in name only.
Yeah.
And they're anti-Trumpers.
Yeah.
Because of economics and so forth.
Well, they're part of that.
Yeah, the elite.
Yeah, they're part of the elite.
Yeah,
So.
the what they call the uniparty.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ray, what you do with that, and ask yourself this question: if Trump was a Democrat, and everything that he is doing is exactly the way he would do it, the only difference is he's a Democrat instead of a Republican. That's the only difference. Would you vote for Trump?
If he was a Democrat,
Right.
I'd vote for Trump anyway. I'd vote for Trump if he was whatever he was. I would
That's
vote
the bottom
for Trump.
line. So the bottom line is he's his own party.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that.
And so when people ask, "You think Trump's going to win?" It's almost like saying it's impossible for him to lose.
Exactly, and that's basically what I say. Are you kidding? It's going to be a landslide. I
Because
say
if
it
he
every
was a
time.
Democrat and doing what he's doing right now, and there was no difference in all that. Only difference is Democrat. You'd still vote for him.
Sure.
Because of what he's doing, not what
Yeah,
either party's doing.
yeah. The heck with the party. Yeah,
So he, in a sense, has his own party.
yeah. Beautifully put, Gary. I like that.
And so when people feel that let's say I'm a Democrat and you're a Republican, okay, and obviously I'm a Democrat, so I'm seeing this Republican, with Trump, but I'm a Trumper,
Yeah.
And so when you see that, I'm seeing that as a Democrat, and all of a sudden it becomes apparent that I didn't care what party Trump's in. So if it doesn't matter what party he's in, then I guess he has his own party.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense to me. It does. It makes sense to me.
So I think that what we have here right now that's happening, and we're going to see a lot here in May because what we have to have here is an equal law for everyone, right?
We've talked about that before.
And we've
you
talked
I.
about that before. Okay, well, starting here in May, we're going to start to see some stuff coming. But here's the thing: there has been nobody more maligned by a phony laws or no laws than Trump.
Oh, absolutely.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that can happen to the President of the United States, it can happen to every American.
Why not? Certainly.
Why not? Right? Okay, but we don't like that. But here's what we don't like is we do not like the fact that we have a two-law system. And if anybody has been through living hell with the fact that it's not a two-law system, I mean, it is a two-law system, it's Trump.
Sure, it is. Absolutely.
Because
Gary.
what could happen to him could happen to you. And that's going to change. And so nobody can sit there, Trump can sit there and say, well, I'll tell you what, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Okay, use an example. Hillary Clinton with emails, that are classified emails that she ignores, top secret, okay, plus telephones and so forth. Okay, look at the violation of the security laws of the United States that she violated. It's countless, right? 30-some thousand emails is an example. Broken telephones is an example. And what is it that some sailor takes a picture of a submarine, sends to his folks,
And goes to prison.
Yeah,
How ridiculous is that?
right.
Hillary Clinton should be eating bread and having bread and water or whatever it is they feed
Whatever
us.
they feed you. But
Yeah.
the point is, public sees all that. You see it. We see it. I see it. Okay. Here's this kid. Well, of course, Trump pardoned him, rightfully so. But that's such an injustice.
It's a complete. I've never heard of a worse injustice than that
Right.
in my life.
And here you have one person that's an American getting by with 10 times, 10, not even close, the severity.
Hundreds of
the
times.
severity of her violation as opposed to this kid taking a picture to send his folks. So what's
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right? Well, that is unbelievable, but the people resent it.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Trump resented it.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Trump has been hit similar to that kid in terms of unfairness.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
Very similar to that kid.
There has never been a president in the history of this country that's been treated the way he's been treated.
Right. And so the public recognizes this and sees the injustice of the kid and Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
They also see the injustice of Trump and the deep state,
Yeah.
the elite, or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. So the public want to see this rectified.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start to see it starting here in May.
Good. I'm glad you said that, Gary. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I really am. It's about time,
And you'll see that, and you're going to see it probably all summer, But Trump has let this thing out there. Basically what he's done is let these people really show everybody what they really are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
He could have ended that a long time ago.
Sure he could have.
And at the same time, look what it's put him through. But the people are aware of that.
Yeah.
Also, I've got to be aware of the fact if they can do that to Trump, they could damn well do it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you've made that aware. Gary, we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back in a little bit. And let me make another plea, ladies and gentlemen. Please do this little prayer. God, please bless and cure and heal Augustine. Okay, God, please bless and heal Augustine. We want to help this young man. And Augustine, we got your back, buddy. We're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this. So we'll be back in, say, 2 and 2, ladies and gentlemen.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee.
With Organic Pastures Raw Milk, you're getting a product that has been meticulously managed from grass to glass. From our pastures to our dairy, creamery, and distribution, we work hard to produce a product that is safe and clean for you.
Got lactose intolerance or dairy allergies? Discover delicious raw milk and discover dairy the way it's supposed to be. We provide tours and would love to see you. Come visit the cows, watch the milking, the cheese being made, and learn all about raw milk. We're just 20 miles south and west of Fresno, California. Call to schedule a tour at 559-846-9732.
The Saga of Bridget and Amanda by Carol Love Forbes brings to life the struggles of historical women in early America. Find the Saga of Bridget and Amanda on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and order your copy today.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Christy Majors is your local real estate connection. With a solid, hardworking team, traditional listings, short sales, probate listings, and foreclosures are treated in a personal and caring way and close in a timely fashion. Since 2009, Team Majors has closed more than $75 million worth of homes all over California. Reliable and trustworthy, Christy and her team will go the extra mile for every client, whether selling or buying a home. So give Team Majors a call at 559-464-5606 or visit teammajors.com.
After a tough day at the track, cleaning up can be a time-consuming task. That's why we use Extreme Cleaner, the non-toxic, biodegradable, multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser. Extreme Cleaner cuts through even the toughest of grease and grime, fast. great for cleaning tools and work surfaces. Extreme Cleaner. Tough on grime, safe on the environment. Visit extremecleaner.com to find a retailer near you.
When you experience flooding in your home, you need to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. After soaking in water for only 45 minutes, carpet starts to come apart. Clean Master Emergency Flood Service can help, and not just with carpet repair. They also offer carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, carpet installation, and more. Call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service, and they'll be there in 60 minutes. Call 559-213-9430.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
I'm back, and we're going to talk about, Gary and I are going to talk about a couple of acts of kindness, and since we've been talking about that today, and there's no better example in my life of acts of kindness than Sandra Louis. She does it all the time, as I've said, and I think we're going to show you a beautiful photo of her grandson, the one we're praying for today. Now you tell me, is that not an angel from God? I mean, look at this absolutely gorgeous child. And so, Augustine, we got your back, buddy. We're going to handle this for you. We're going to handle this. Gary, go ahead. Gary has this great story, and I've got one similar.
Well, anyway, what we discussed, what I've noticed is in the last maybe year, I noticed that the people, a greater kindness from people, and all the way around,
And Gary, what did Trump say? He said, "Let's make America great again,
Yeah.
one person at a time."
And
you and I are seeing that, and I'm seeing it.
Right. And I seen this, and I was in a line, and short, change. So I, like you said, didn't want to break a $50 bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I was short change, and this lady in front of me, told the clerk, "Says I'll pay for it."
Isn't that amazing? Don't you love that? I mean,
And I was at this grocery store,
Yeah.
And I looked at the clerk, and I looked at her, and she says, "Oh," and then she goes on, no, I got a kid playing Little League right there, so, Anyway, she says, "No, I got it."
I just love it. You can see this. Donald Trump says, "Make America great, one example at a time," and we're seeing it. It's a very similar story to Gary. I'm in Walmart, and I can't even remember the item I was buying, but I was trying to pay for it without breaking a $50 bill, and I can't remember, it was $23 and something cents, and I had the 23 and a couple of 50s and hundreds on me, and I thought, oh, shoot, I don't want to have to break a 50, but I'll do it anyway. The lady behind me, a Hispanic lady, said, "Oh, I'll get that. It was 57 cents. And I said, "Oh, no, I can't." And she says, "No, yes, you can. This gives me a chance to do something good. I do something good every single day." And I said, "You do?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "How wonderful." And it's just blossoming. It's just, it goes on and on and on, just like Sandra. It goes on and on and on. People do it, God bless people like that.
And unsuspecting as it can be, I asked the clerk, I says, "Does this happen very often?" She says, "It makes me feel so good every time it happens."
Oh, yes, it does.
She says, "It makes me feel good when something like that."
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if she's feeling good, that translates to the next person.
Absolutely.
Ray, I was another incident similar to that, and the same type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this great big black guy. I bet he's 6'4". He's huge, right? And he's standing in line, and same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I'll take care of that."
Yeah. Isn't that,
And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, here I am, a honky.
That's not a good word, Gary.
and this guy, he buys the deal. A little.
Yeah.
A little. What he thought, I had told him, I said, "Listen, it's, a nice day and warm up," and so I'm sitting there, and he's watching that, and he said, "No, I got it."
It's just,
it happens a lot.
Yeah, it does, and I'm seeing it. I mean, just, the other day I'm sitting at a stoplight, and I can't even remember where I was, And there was this lady, and she was trying to. Poor lady, she was pushing a cart full of cans, obviously, to the recycle place in a wheelchair, Gary.
Oh man.
And she was having trouble, and I was in the middle lane. I couldn't do anything. And so all of a sudden, this lady pulls up, drives up on the curb, didn't even care. Well-dressed lady, looked like she could have been probably a professional, an attorney, or
Yeah.
a doctor or something. Dressed very well, driving a BMW, a very expensive BMW, like a $100,000 BMW. Got out of a car, walked over, and assisted the lady in crossing the street. And so when she came back, I kind of yelled. I said, "Hey!" And she turned around and looked, and I went,
Yeah.
"Good job."
Right.
It's just, it makes you feel so good.
Right.
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 And we were away from that totally. And now, Donald Trump I know I give him credit for a lot of things, and I do. I told somebody the other day, I said, they ought to give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, every
and they
time,
should,
right.
because of what's happening in the Middle East. And I guarantee you, we may not be here to see it, but there is going to be peace in the Middle East someday. And I think we'll probably see it in our lifetime. But if we don't, it will be there. Guess where it started? It started with Donald Trump.
Well, you got to think of it this way, or think about it. Trump is not just the president of the United States. He's also the president of the world.
Absolutely. He's the number one world
Yeah,
leader
right.
of this universe.
Right.
You know.
So, and he takes that as a lot of, it's a big responsibility,
Absolutely it is.
and he takes it serious, of course. But you got to ask another thing too. Is everybody kind of wants something? You know what I mean? What is it that Trump really wants? Trump only needs or wants one thing, and that is to make the American people more prosperous.
That's what he said right from the
He-
very
he has
beginning.
no
He
other-
said that.
No
You
other
know?
motive. There's no motive for him to make more money.
Why?
Or any motive to be a dictator of a country.
No.
No, he has just one thing: make the American people more prosperous.
How do we get that into the subconscious of the libtards? I know we're not supposed to use that word, but I'm using it. How
Well-
do we get that?
well,
because
it-
they don't understand that. you
Well,
know?
here's the thing: they do not understand it. However, little by little, they will understand it.
Oh yeah, eventually they're going to. They're not going to have a choice.
Because see, we don't have, unfortunately, our education system has become an indoctrination. Our media has become propaganda, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, but how can you take the media and make them no longer propagandists but pro-American instead of anti-American?
Yeah, and that's so difficult considering who owns the media. That
That's
makes
exactly
it,
right.
It
It's
makes
a communist back deal.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of the education system, I think when you were in Washington, I had a wonderful lady on. It's in my cycling class at the gym, who's on the school board, and I think we talked about this. And she said, when she sat right where you're sat, and she said, and I love this, and she said, the first thing we have to do in this country is get the government out of the education system.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we have to do.
Yeah, because at one time, government wasn't in the education system at all.
Yeah.
You take back in the old days, let's say we're out in the country and we want to form a school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody volunteered to be the teacher and set up reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And so the government has taken control, and they want control, and it's huge. And we're talking about trillions at stake.
Absolutely.
This is why Trump is having such a tough time, primarily, is because there is trillions at stake. And when we're talking about a tough time, he's having an equal amount of tough time from Republican elites as he is Democrat elites.
My dad told me a long time ago. He said, it's been my thought all along. My dad was not a well-educated man. He quit in the 5th grade to go out and farm and help, as most
Right.
people did back then.
Right.
They grew up during the Depression. But he was a very smart man, extremely smart man. And he said, it dawns on me, we're sitting on a bale of hay one day, and we're talking about people, and he said, it dawns on me, he said that if you want to hurt a man, you don't have to go over there and just whop him upside the head. He said, hit him in the hip National Bank.
Yep.
Affect his finances. And that's what Donald Trump is doing
That's what he's
with the
doing.
elite.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what he's doing with all the countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he understands the power of that. Which is interesting. Your dad picked up, I mean, way ahead of his time.
Yes, thank you. He was.
But I think that what the average American is starting to see, little by little, we're seeing what happened with the investigation that went on for 2 years, which nothing but a hoax.
Yeah.
But it's more than just a hoax. It was an absolute fraud of a attempt or a coup to take over the United States.
Yeah.
Now, how more anti-American can that be? I mean, these people would take, if had they been successful, they would have taken over the United States.
Yeah.
And we'd be in that type of a communist government.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting, Gary. Very.
Yeah, and so that's what we're going to be seeing a lot more and more, and we are seeing it. The public's becoming more and more aware of it, Ray, and more educated by it. And but it's just simple little things like, you know, you ask somebody, says, well, or they ask you, they say, well, why is Trump president? Why is he president? He doesn't need to be president. He's this and that. He's only doing it because of the love he has for the country, and he only doing it because of a debt he feels he owes for what he's done, and he wants to see everybody else have the same thing.
Exactly.
And, you know, in whatever way, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not more complicated than that. So then you ask the question, and you sit there and you say, well, what is it that Trump is doing for America and for the American people you do not want for yourself?
I love that statement. You made that statement 6 months ago, and I've been using it since.
Have you?
You know, and it leaves them dumbfounded. It really does.
Yeah, because
that's a great statement. Say that again, Gary. I love this. Listen to this.
Okay, when somebody confronts you and about Trump or this and that, you just ask them. Says, hold on, what is it? Name me one thing. What is it that Trump wants for you and the America that you don't want for yourself?
That reminds me of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that you can't hit because it just freezes you. That freezes you. That freezes them.
You're right.
You know,
or anyone why wouldn't it? Because you have to ask yourself the question.
It's beautiful. I love.
I had a guy. I did ask this, and only had one guy that I've asked that question that came back, and he says, "Well, I don't want a border wall." And I said, do you have a front door on your house? He said, well, of course. I said, why?
That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
You know, so I think that a lot of more important people are starting to understand that.
There was and I just got to slide this. Perhaps some of the audience members knows. I don't know. And Gary, you probably do because you're so well versed. But I just caught a little bit of the news. I don't know if you did earlier this week, Monday or Tuesday. Apparently, someone who was illegal in this country shot somebody back in I guess back east somewhere or something. You know, I don't know any of the details, but it's like the driver that goes out and kills somebody, and not only is he drunk, he doesn't have a driver's license, and he's driving an unregistered car. It shouldn't be there, you know. It doesn't take a quantum physicist to figure this stuff out.
Exactly.
You know,
it's a very simple deal, and if you look at America and why we're Americans, because we are different.
Yeah.
Just own up to it. Say, yeah, we're different.
Yeah, we are.
That's why we succeed the way we do.
Exactly.
So why is it that we should self-impose shackles?
You know, Gary, it kind of, I am just so proud to be who I am. You know, I'm an American black man. I'm not an African American.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll say that to I hate that. I am an American first.
Right.
You know, that's who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm damn proud of that.
Right. And and that's all that's necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I don't care if it's who it is, down the street or
You're-
whatever.
you-
It's all that's
yeah,
necessary.
Yeah.
He's an American.
Yeah.
She's an American.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
it.
don't even have to get into it because he's a black, Chinese, Portuguese, whatever.
That's totally insignificant.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
The only thing it has to do with is that you're American. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And how fortunate are we to live in the greatest country in the history of this world? You know, and I told people before, can you imagine what strides we could make as a people if we were all on the same page?
Oh,
I told this. I'm sitting in the steam room the other day with this wonderful doctor. I mean, this guy smiles all the time. I guess because he makes all that big money. And every time he sees me with my Trump shirt on, he pats me on the back. He's an older doctor getting ready to retire. His wife is an anesthesiologist. And the other day we're sitting in there and we're talking, and he said, and I said that, and he said, can you imagine? I said that, if we were all on the same page, and he said, let me tell you something, son. If that happened, we'd have a utopia here. We would have an absolute utopia in America.
And America has the foundation for that utopia.
Yes, we do, Garrett.
Because it's called the Constitution.
Thank you. Boom. There you go. That's why it was written.
And the reason why we're not is because of evil, who wants to divide us, which represents who right now? The Democrat Party.
Sure
If you're
it does.
a Democrat, how in the world can you be a Democrat? It doesn't make sense.
Not to me.
And
No.
Barack Obama and Hillary, they were part of division, not coalition, but division, dividing the people, keeping the.
And what were they? They were puppets. That's all they were. They were
That's
puppets.
all they were.
They did what they were told to do.
Right.
You know. And you know, I say this all the time. You know, I go back to Jimmy Carter, and I said, I think Jimmy Carter was probably a great man, a wonderful man, a humanitarian, but he was a terrible president. And I think Barack Obama's probably a nice man. I don't know him. I think he's probably a good man. He was an awful president. I mean, wake up and face it.
I think he's an awful, evil son of a gun.
Well, hey, and you could be
And
right,
I think
Gary. I believe
he'll-
you.
well, how can you be like that?
Yeah.
How can you be that much harm to the people? I mean, Barack Obama is half black, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
How in the world? How is it that he did not help the black people? Why is it that the ghettos grew under Obama instead of became less under
I got to tell you
Obama?
something. I got to tell you a story. When Obama was elected, and we're watching TV, right? And I went by my sister's house for something, I don't know. And she's sitting there, and she's watching this, and she said, you know, all these blacks people, it's like a migration from the South coming up, man. We got a black president. We got to go and support this black president, and they're coming up there. And my sister said, they're going to get up there and find out that he isn't what they think he is.
Exactly.
And she's been a Democrat all her life. And I looked at her and I said,
She's wise.
I can't believe that came out of you. And she said, hey, mark my word.
Yep.
We never thought about it until, when at the end of his term. And I said, I remember when you said that. And she said, I told you. You know?
She was right.
Yeah, she was right.
But think of the good that Obama could have done because he was or is half black.
Of course
Think
he could
the
have.
good he could have done
Of
as
course he could,
opposed.
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the worst presidents for the blacks, in my estimation, that there's been around.
What did he do? Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. And I said this. I made this statement the other day to this lady. I told you this, that coming out of Walmart, this black woman said to me, she looked at my shirt and she says, how could you possibly be a Donald support Trump person and be black? And I said, that's the worst racist statement you ever told me.
That's exactly.
No one has ever said a worse racist statement to me than that. You know, you're telling me because I'm black, I'm supposed to what? Have been for Obama? Let me explain something to you, lady. And by now I got a crowd, so I'm
Right.
really loving it, right?
Right.
I said, Donald Trump, in the short 2 years that he's been in office, did more for Hispanics and blacks than Barack Obama did in 8 years. Wake up,
Right.
people.
Right.
Take a look at what's going on. Take a look. Do your own due diligence.
Right.
Barack Obama didn't do anything for minorities.
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You know,
Except
nothing.
exploit them.
Except exploit them. Thank you, Gary. Except exploit them. Which is
Yeah.
what the Democratic Party's been doing for years. Every 4 years in election time, it's almost like with the Indians in Manhattan. They come
Right.
around with their little trinkets.
Right,
let me
right.
do this for you. Let me
Yeah.
do that for you. And I'll never forget when my mother said about affirmative action. Here was another person who only got to the 5th grade, like my dad, and she said this once when they were talking about affirmative action and schooling and giving. And she said, "You know what? My son's as smart as anybody else. He doesn't need affirmative action." That made me feel so good. She was talking to a bunch of people at a family reunion, because they were all saying, "Oh yeah, we get to be equal now. President Johnson and all these great Democrats are doing this for me. We're going to have affirmative action." My mom said, "Bull crap."
Affirmative action is so much as saying, no, you're not equal.
That's exactly what it's saying. Let me help you come
The
up
reason
here.
why-
Let me help you come up here and stand up here because you don't quite have what it takes.
What's more racist than affirmative action?
Yeah, exactly.
You
Gary.
can't get more racist because
Yeah.
you've already stated
Yeah.
that you're inferior.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah, let's do.
You already stated that you're inferior only in what? Only in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know what this guy's IQ is. You don't
No,
know
you have no idea.
Yeah, you have no
None.
idea. But you've already predetermined in your mind that this person's inferior by you supporting what? Affirmative action.
Yeah.
You don't need affirmative action. What you need is equal opportunity.
That's exactly what you need. Beautifully well stated. I hope you heard what he said. What you don't need affirmative action. What you need
is equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah, that's it. And
that's all. That's what. That's all any of us need.
That's all.
That's
any
all
of
we
us
need. We don't need anything else. We don't need the government to give us anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Now we either take advantage of that's what capitalism is all about. That's
Sure.
what our country is all about.
Yeah.
So we either take advantage, pursuit of happiness, as the Constitution and so forth. Okay, we either take advantage of that, or we don't.
I love that story, and Gary does too, about that lady that this is over a year ago, Hispanic lady, and I think she called in and she told me, she said, she says, "I don't have time for the pursuit of happiness. I'm a divorced mother of 3 and I'm working hard." Well, when Donald Trump took over and she was able to get one job that equaled the 3 that she had, the full time, and I got a chance to talk to her again, and she was in pursuit of happiness, and that made me feel so good.
Right.
And
right.
because of Donald Trump,
Right.
and because of the changing of the economy.
Okay, now what does Trump do to do that? Okay, let's just get back to the basic. All he wants to do is make your life better.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not going to force you to do that.
No.
And he's not going to come up with some program special deal for you because you're this, you're that.
There's something you've got to do.
There,
you have to do some of this on your own.
Yeah, there's programs to assist you, of course. Okay, now, but here's the thing: if you go that route that you're talking about, I mean, that's why these jobs. There's more jobs out there than there are people that can do those jobs. But it's changing; they're getting more and more into it, right? Okay, so everybody can enjoy the fruits of this, and all that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
That's what he's done. But there's a lot more there that the people aren't aware of yet. One of them is the investment tax credit in our taxes. And you don't even hear about it.
Yeah.
But we've had our taxes reduced. But on top of that, we have the ability of this investment tax credit.
Which is outstanding, by the way.
Which is like a gift from whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using an example of that, a practical example. Okay, there's a friend of mine who owns a restaurant there in town, and he needed a $7,000 stove. And he says, "Man, this stove is just, I can hardly stand it anymore." And I said, "Well, let me ask you a question." I says, "What kind of stove do you want?" And he told me, and he had looked it up, and I said, "What is it going to cost?" And he says, "It's going to cost, the one I want is going to cost $7,000. And I says, "Let me ask you a question. Do you pay $7,000 in income tax?" And he said, "Yeah, pretty close." And I says, "Well, how about getting that stove free?" And he looked at me and he said, "What do you mean?" I says, "You go buy that stove for $7,000 and you'll receive $7,000 of investment tax credit."
How beautiful is that? Think about that.
How beautiful is that? Is right. because now he has a new stove, which makes him more efficient.
He was going to pay the $7,000 in taxes anyway.
Right. Instead of him paying the $7,000 in taxes, he pays $7,000 for the stove. You see,
I love it.
You see why the
Donald Trump.
That's right, and he said that's bigger than the tax break. That tax reduction, he says, this is bigger. Okay, so now I was talking to these guys down the street, young kids, you know, and they want a taco truck. And I said, the two of them, two cousins. Mm-hmm. And sharp guys, you know, they got good jobs, but they want to have a business of their own, and they want a taco truck. And I says, well, what does that taco truck cost? And it comes out to about $50,000. And I said, well, what you do is you partner up with some people, mm-hmm. and you go buy that $50,000 taco truck, of which you buy it, but I mean, they actually buy it, mm-hmm. and then they get the tax credit and whatever it is you don't need, mm-hmm. or you don't have. And I says, now we have this $50,000 truck, at which all those people that you maybe just 2 people or 3 mm-hmm. people or 5 people, mm-hmm. $10,000 apiece.
Yeah,
they owe $10,000 in taxes. So what they do is form a partnership. Now they own this taco truck and they lease the taco truck to you.
It's beautiful. How beautiful is that?
Okay, then what you do is as you pay them back over the next 5 years, let's say as an example, at the end now you buy the truck for $1.
At the end of the 5-year period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the money that you had paid them, you know, for the truck, that they take that money and goes into their 401k with no tax consequences.
It's a win-win situation for everybody involved.
Everybody involved. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that's going on, and as more people catch on, oh my God, you know, can you imagine when more people become? See, at one time, no one knew what a 401k but see how long it takes for it to become accepted.
Yeah.
And the general public then understand.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this. It's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be overnight.
Yeah.
But can you imagine that someday?
I love this, man. Ever since we talked about this, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know why everyone in America wouldn't jump on this bandwagon.
Well, they would.
You know.
But they're not being taught that.
Yeah. Well, they should be.
And they should be. Because but that makes them more independent and less dependent. Mm-hmm. And these people, I'm going to talk about the Democrats primarily.
Yeah.
You know, the politicians and that. Those people want to control every American. I mean,
of course they do.
Everything, because it's trillions. Mm-hmm. And then Republicans are involved in that too.
Yeah.
But Ray, it's a sad deal what's going on in terms of what our politicians. Well, I'll use the term politician, not Democrat, Republican.
Yeah.
But what our politicians are doing to our people, it just absolutely.
It is. Here's what's even sadder to me: they do not see it.
Right.
It's it's like they're blind. It's just they don't see it.
No.
What's going on? What's happening to them?
Well, little by little, people are going to become more and more aware.
And you've said that before, and now we're seeing it.
Now we're seeing it.
People are becoming more and more aware. Those are those people that are switching parties, too. Those are the people that are switching parties and coming over to our side.
Right. I watch those walkaways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's fun.
And it is fun, isn't it?
I'll tell you what's really exciting is when you see what looks like to be gangbangers, mm-hmm. and they're walking away. Oh, yeah, that's encouraging.
You darn right it is. Young people like that are actually even interested.
Right, they're even interested. This gangbanger, I mean,
yeah,
all the way, and he comes in there, he says, they put videos, and he's pretty articulate.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a couple of them, and they are.
Yeah, and boy, he said, I walked away. And I mean, that's so encouraging when you see that.
It's very encouraging, Gary.
And so I'm encouraged, too, though, when I start seeing some of the stuff that's going on the other side that you'll never hear in the press. You never hear about somebody buying somebody in line their loaf of bread.
Yeah. Oh, that's just, that really is.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And you'll never hear talking about the gangbanger that switched over to.
Yeah.
You'll never hear any of that. And then,
I had gotten to a point. Mike brought this up today. He owns this station. What a wonderful man Mike is, and a shout out to him. He's a very humble man, but I'm going to say, Mike Briggs is just a saint. He's a great guy. And anyway, we were talking prior to the show, he and I and Gary, and he was mentioning that he is starting to look at the other news. And Sandra taught me this because she always looks at both sides, and I never would. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have anything to do with CNN. Now it's interesting because it keeps you abreast of what's going on. And so now I'm looking at both sides. Thank you, Sandra. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's taught me a lot, and it continues to teach me. And I'll tell you what else it does. It makes me appreciate that I'm on the right side. That's the key thing.
That's the thing that the most benefit you get. It really makes you appreciate that. Hey, I'm on the right side of this thing, and it also makes it to where you can now go to talk to somebody and explaining your side, but say, listen, I've already listened to your side this morning.
Exactly, Gary. Good point. Very good point.
So it adds credibility.
Yeah.
Plus, it makes you appreciate more and more what you have.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's a good thing, and I think there's what we've tried to do here today anyway is there's a lot of positives going on, and we've covered that. There's a lot of positives that for us to be thankful and
absolutely, Gary, there are,
and be optimistic about maybe what's coming down the pike.
You know what? I can't wait for Donald Trump's next term. I can't wait to see what's good, because we don't know what he's got planned. But I tell you what it is, whatever it is, it's for America, and it's for our advancement.
Well,
and that excites me. It really does.
Well, he's gone through all this first term. And he's got all this done. I mean, the GDP today that came out was unbelievable, way beyond what they said. I mean, what he's done is amazing, right? Okay, but it's the second term that he really gets to put in.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's going to be where he puts in the stuff that really affects every American's right down to their pocketbook, as far as opportunity for young people and so forth.
We've been talking about a lot of things today, and we've been talking about being grateful. Being grateful is one of the most powerful things in life. I'm so grateful for my health and for being back here and having somebody like Gary and having Mike, my producer and director out there, who is just a brilliant young man. Brilliant. I just love him, and he does all this wonderful things for us. And it's just, I feel so fortunate. And today, for some reason, I feel great, because of all the good things that are happening in this country. And like it happens every time, right now we're running out of time, and it happens, I say this every single week. We're going to be back, and we're going to be back next week, and I'm hoping, Gary, can you make it?
I don't see why not.
Good, because we need you. And every single week I'm going to ask Mike if he'll put that wonderful, beautiful photo up of this little angel who there it is. There's the angel. And like I said, buddy, you just hang in there. We're waiting to see you laugh and smile again, and that's going to happen, because, like we said earlier, we got your back, buddy. Anyway, as we say every single week, when you see a law enforcement officer, go up and shake his hands. This has come full circle for me. And I have police officers that don't even know me that are coming up and shaking my hands and say thank you. Well, they do a job that I don't want to carry a gun and go out and look for those fools. I don't want to do that, And so they do that. They protect us. They serve us. They're wonderful, wonderful people. Get to know them. Shake their hands and tell them that you appreciate what they do. Because we do. We appreciate you. So until we meet joyously next Friday at 3 p.m., heaven's blessings.
Ghost Golf is Fresno's most spectacular family entertainment center. It's frightening how much fun you'll have on our 18-hole indoor haunted graveyard course. Skeletons welcome you, but watch out. All sorts of creatures may come to life. Ghost Golf is perfect for scary good parties, so book yours today. You'll get free plays at the Mummy Shooting Gallery, arcades, and air hockey. Check out our party and weekday specials online and like us on Facebook. Come play at family-friendly Ghost Golf. Good times will haunt you.
At McDermott Counseling, you will receive the highest level of care and a welcoming, safe space in which to discuss your most personal issues. Our therapists go above and beyond for you. Call 559-280-5756 or visit McDermottCounseling.com to find a caring therapist who best suits your needs. Diane Ainsworth's books of poetry and scriptures are available at CondioPress.com and as ebooks at Amazon.com. Diane hopes the words in her books will convey the unconditional love Jesus has for you. Learn more at God'sInspirationsBlog.wordpress.com and get a copy of Diane's books today. Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine, available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
Call PG's Catering for all your special occasions. Available to cook any variety of foods and desserts that will leave your taste buds wanting more. Call 559-558-2682 and follow Peaches on Instagram and Facebook.